Hi, my name is Jade Edmondson, and this is my slideshow for Assignment 5, the revisions and rationale on my unit of instruction. A quick overview of the activities that were included in my unit of instruction for those of you who might not have seen it. The first lesson was exploring building arrays with these little foam square 1-inch tiles, and also writing repeated addition and multiplication equations to accompany each array. My second lesson was a 3-act math task from an online website that involved a problem solving situation where there was a chocolate bar. We couldn't see how many squares it was split up into, but then we could see just one of the squares of chocolate, and we had to basically use our knowledge of arrays and multiplication to find out how many squares would be in the entire chocolate bar. And the last day was just filling out an exit ticket and doing some assessment. So to answer the question of whether these tasks had appropriate evidence of the identified understandings, I think that the first lesson with building the arrays with the tiles was a strong instructional activity, but I lacked physical evidence for me to check for their understanding. I felt like I was running around trying to, assist and see this, but I wish I had had a physical exit ticket or something from that lesson that I could have looked at to really seen who got it after day one. Although lesson 2 had students show their work through writing and drawing, and I was able to then go back and look at that and use it as more of a formative assessment that I could go back and review and what didn't have to just do in the moment. To answer the question of whether the tasks involve complex real world application of the identified skills, I would say 100%, especially my second lesson that involved the 3-act math task was all about this. I mean, that's the point of these math tasks, is to present students with a real life situation and problem through videos and images, and have them formulate questions about it, as a class formulate questions about it, and then use our problem solving and reasoning skills. Also cooperative learning, because I had them working with partners. So they had to estimate what they thought it was, revise, use more information as they got more clues. So all of that was very real world application for them. And are there a variety of appropriate assessment formats used to provide additional evidence of learning? Like I had said before, both activities had some formative assessments built in. I thought day 2 was a little bit easier for me to use those formative assessments as opposed to day 1, where we were building stuff and taking them apart. The exit ticket at the very end of the unit provided me a sort of a summative evidence of learning, but one change that I really wish I had included in this unit, and I will for next time, is I wish I had that exit ticket after the first activity. Mostly because I think that I could have used that to do some small group or individual interventions before going on to the next activity. I always try to do that, but with just the way that this laid out, we're kind of just throwing this unit in at the end of the year. And so I felt it was a little rushed, and I wished I had taken some time to do some more intervention at the individual level before I let them move on to that real world problem. And are students given the opportunity to self-assess and reflect upon their learning and performance? In the first lesson, students were working with partners continually as they were building the arrays and writing the equations with them. And then as I was having students share out their answers and recording information on the board and examples, students were self-assessing their own work and working with a partner to make revisions on their arrays or their equations as we worked together on the board. And then at the very end of the second lesson, there was actually a specific structured time set apart at the end for students to evaluate whether their estimations were correct. And if they were incorrect, we worked together to find exactly what mistakes they could have made and where the mistakes happened. And they were given an opportunity to revise their answers in their written work, which they were all for. Everybody wants to have the right answer at the end. So we worked through that and were able to do that. And these are my references. I will say one thing at the end here that if anyone else is interested in the 3-act math tests, this website from Graham Fletcher is great, and that's where I got mine from. Thanks.